He was elected in 1970. Those of you who remember back that far will know that that wasn't a particularly good year for the Republican Party, but Jack was elected in a blue-collar district just outside of Buffalo in upstate New York. He immediately made his mark in the Congress. He even was considered as a candidate for president in 1980, but of course that was Reagan's year. In the Reagan administration, however, Jack was perhaps the most significant intellectual, provided the most significant intellectual underpinnings of what we call the Reagan Revolution. He was a low-tax, pro-growth, positive view of America, America's best days ahead, and provided that battleground in the Congress and that public debate that we now look back on and call the Reagan Revolution. Now, why would he have done that, a pro football player? Well, the stereotype of somebody coming out of pro football is that they played too long without their helmet, got hit on the head too long, and maybe he's an attractive jock, but that's about all you would say. Most people don't know that when he was playing football in the pros, he was reading Friedrich Hayek for pleasure. One of the best minds I've ever encountered. Probing, intellectual curiosity, wanting to know the answer to this and the answer to that, and why was this and why was that. Excellent mind. He was always underestimated. He ran for president in 1988. That turned out, in the way Republicans do things in an orderly manner, to be the year that the vice president, Reagan's vice president, won the nomination, so Jack did not. He became Secretary of HUD, Housing and Urban Development, which is where he really showed his concerns for the poor, where he saw the failure of a liberalist idea of dependency created for the poor. And he wanted to empower them. He used to call me once in a while, we'd talk on the telephone, and he would say, I'm going to empower people to work themselves out of the ghettos. He said, that's what America's about. The American opportunity, the American dream. Jack Kemp embodied that in every respect. He used to talk to me a lot about the criminal justice system. And what could we do, Chuck? I remember when he was in Congress, he would call me up and say, Chuck, show me what we can do to straighten out these prisons. What can we do to help these people who are incarcerated? What can we do to bring an end to the injustices that these people experience? In 1996, as you know, he ran with Bob Dole for President of the United States. He ran an upbeat campaign. He got that Kemp message out across the country, exciting people with everything he did and said. And after his defeat, after the Dole-Kemp ticket was defeated, he kept his public voice, continued to fight for the things he believed in, not one bit diminished. There was never a defeat in Jack Kemp's life that he didn't turn into an opportunity to do more for what he passionately believed in. Let me tell you in a few minutes I have just a little bit about Kemp the man, as I got to know him as a brother in the faith, as a really strong ally in what I did. You know, we used to travel places, and Jack would often say, Chuck, you've encouraged me spiritually. We'd have spiritual discussions. But I never encouraged him anywhere near as much as he encouraged me. I never spoke anywhere that Jack Kemp wasn't the first person, just like Jeff was saying, whether he threw the ball or not, his dad would give him encouragement. Sometimes I wouldn't feel I'd done a particularly good job, and Jack would run up to me and say, Chuck, that was just wonderful. Great encourager. And he almost made it so by the force of his will and his personality. He had a great life of the mind. We used to trade off books that we would read, and I'd try to keep up with Jack, and I couldn't. And he'd give me a book, and he'd say, have you read this one? I'd say, no, and I'd start to read it. And within 2 weeks, he had another book that he wanted me to read, and this would go back and forth, and we'd discuss the books we were reading. His mind was constantly probing. I remember one day at Bill Simon's funeral at St. Patrick's in New York, Jack and I happened to be sitting together, and he's passing notes to me about his latest book that he has read. And then when we left there, we started in one of those deep discussions that you could get in with Jack that were really almost endless, and his mind just constantly learning. We were in Cambridge, England together, as a matter of fact, and both Jack and I gave, here I am, the ex-Watergate felon, and defeated candidate for Vice President of the United States, we put on a seminar for the students at Cambridge on government and politics. If you've ever spoken to an audience in Cambridge or Oxford, you'll know that there's just a bit of a pompous touch, and they look kind of condescendingly down upon us outlanders from across the pond. Within 15 minutes, Jack had the meeting out of his hand. They were dazzled because of that quick mind, that good mind, and that winsome way. How could you not believe what Jack Kemp said was true? He couldn't imagine you couldn't believe it. How could you not believe it? He was a man who lived for the power of ideas, as Mike Gerson wrote so eloquently in that tribute in the Washington Post this week, one of the most beautiful I've ever read. He was a strategic thinker with a big vision. But you can be a great thinker, and you can be a great intellect, and you can be a powerful person, you can hold high office. In the final analysis, it comes down to what is a man or woman's character. And I think one way, I see our mutual friend Bill Bennett here, who I think will agree with this, you'd line up the 4 classic Greek virtues. One day when we visited Athens, Patty and I and Joanne and Jack went to the Olympic Stadium where the first Olympics were held, a new stadium built on the site where the first Olympics were held. And Jack got out of the van and he went jogging right out into the middle of the field immediately, got down on his haunches in the imaginary crouch of the quarterback behind an imaginary center, took the ball, and then arched back in that familiar pose you've all seen Jack in, as if he were ready to throw. And I thought to myself, this is a classical man. Belongs here. He fits here. Look at the 4 virtues. Prudence. He was a man who really understood what Russell Kirk meant about the great conservative virtue of prudence.